sparkling, golden, pure, refreshing.
Oh, hey, now come on. Hang on now. Can't we just settle this over a pint? No. All right, then. Come on!
Chilled now, and Ingrid serves it in the traditional manner, from a pitcher with a garland of greenery. Mmm.
These guys find the kind of relaxation and release they need in a cold glass of beer. For them, only beer does it.
Grandpa's telling tales of yore. Bruce Q talks about comics more. Norm's got jokes that we adore. Hawk's our mascot, hear it roar. 3BeerMen drinking in the streams, laughing like there's no tomorrow. Hawk's loud for praise in the bars, filled with joy, never sorrow. Grandpa's got his old school tricks, Bruce Q's latest adventure and more. Norm with laughs that'll mix, Hawk circles watch him soar. Beer cans clinking, stories unfold. Nights like these are pure gold. These memories bold, never sold. In Twilight's glow time behold. Everyone needs a night like this, full of stories can't be missed. Simple joys, pure bliss. In each sip, there's a twist. Men drinking in the streams, laughing like there's no tomorrow. Hawks, loud spark raising the bars, filled with joy, never sorrow. 3BeerMen drinking in the streams, laughing like there's no tomorrow. Hawks, loud spark raising the bars, filled with joy, never sorrow. Grandpa's got his old school tricks, Bruce Q's latest adventure and more. Norm with laughs that'll mix, Hawk circles watch him soar. Beer cans clinking, stories unfold. Nights like these are pure gold. These memories bold, never sold. In Twilight's glow time behold. Everyone needs a night like this, full of stories can't be missed. Simple joys, pure bliss. In each sip, there's a twist. In each sip, there's a twist.
On a Cozy AF with 3BeerMen this Sunday afternoon, a week after Easter. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week, had a wonderful week with all the craziness that's going on. Tonight, it's time to kick back, relax, and enjoy a Cozy AF with 3BeerMen. We've got Norm, Cosmic, and myself. Hawk is off doing some Hawk things right now. He may fly in later. In the meanwhile, let's say hi to our crew. What's up, Norm?
Not much. And today I got
You got to give us that 30-second pause, that 5-second pause, Norm. One more time, Cosmic.
Yeah.
Norm! There you go, Norm. You're up.
So today I got a beer from your neck of the woods. I've
been
drinking a lot of regional beers to my area, and I found one from across the country from Brooklyn Brewery, and it's a Brooklyn Brown. Cool. And it's really funny. The first time I ever had Brooklyn Brewery, it was their lager. But I went into this place. I was in Manhattan for work, and they're staying at a hotel by the Port Authority. And then there's this place across the street from the Port Authority called the Beer Authority. I said, oh, this would be great to get some great local beer. They were like, we have a special with all California beer. They had Stone, they had Anderson Valley. I was like, they had stuff I normally drink. It's like, what do you have that's local? I didn't come across the country to drink something I drink at home. I wanted, and what they did have was the Brooklyn Lager. So that was the
Very good.
first time I've had Brooklyn, and I've had it a couple times since then. But this is a brown ale. Looks very brown.
They have good beers.
They do. From all the other times I've had them, this is very malty. Not what I'm used to drinking. Of course, I'm used to drinking the IPAs, and especially the West Coast IPAs. And this is a good beer. It's only 5.6% alcohol per volume, so it's not even the same level. So but it's a nice change. It is a nice
It's
change.
more than a Guinness. That's for sure.
Yeah. Guinness is like what 4.7, I think.
Yeah,
Or,
4.6 or 4.7. Yeah.
But no, it's a good rich and hearty beer. So it'd be nice for it's kind of overcast today, so it's untypical weather for me.
Okay.
And darker beers are usually nice on a cloudy day.
On a cool, cloudy day. There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh.
Very good. Well, let's throw it over to Cosmac and see what he's drinking tonight. Howdy, Cosmac.
Yes. Hey, howdy. Yeah, interesting connection there. Brooklyn was one of the first craft beers that I was drinking before I owned Penn Brewery, before I was drinking craft beer. And that was when I was literally drinking Keystone Light as my daily driver. But Brooklyn made a beer that was Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout. And that beer was how I learned that chocolate stout does not necessarily mean chocolate beer. It's not a chocolate beer. Brooklyn Black Chocolate Stout is not a beer made with any kind of chocolate whatsoever. It's called chocolate stout because it's made with chocolate malt. And chocolate malt is a particular roast of barley. So it's barley that's been roasted to a particular shade of darkness, and it's called chocolate malt. And they make their beer with that, and that is chocolate. So for all these chocolate beers, like I'm about to show you tonight, because I'm still on the chocolate beer kick from the last 2 weeks. Their chocolate stout does not have any chocolate in it whatsoever. But the beer that I'm having tonight certainly does, and that's because Bruce, of course, had a chocolate peanut butter beer last week. And a few shows ago, I made a salted caramel chocolate tart. So when I saw this beer at the store, I just knew I had to try it. This is Southern Tier's salted caramel bar, caramel cookie bar, chocolate imperial stout. So it is an imperial stout, and it carries the ABV of an imperial stout at 10%. I'm not sure if you can see that. And it certainly carries the complexion of an imperial stout. It is quite dark. The head on this one has gone away since I poured it, but it had a fairly vigorous head when I first poured it. And this one smells like a glass full of Hershey bar before I even get it up to my nose. So this one has real chocolate in it, along with caramel. Oh, yeah. I referred to the chocolate caramel tart that I made a couple weeks ago as an adult Twix bar. This is basically Twix beer.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
very cool.
And it does taste like it. And it is from Southern Tier, which is also a New York brewery.
Yes.
Although Southern Tier does have one satellite brew house, and it happens to be located right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
So there's a connection.
wow. But all those flavors sound almost like ice cream flavor. Sounds like something you read
It
on the
it
ice cream.
it's funny you say that because a recipe that we're not going to get to this week, but I do have a picture of, is an ice cream that I made this week, and it's a
From
boozy
beer?
ice cream. So,
Boozy ice cream.
yeah, so
Can you
kind of
make
like the Drunken
beer?
Rocky Road, except the missus and I decided after we had the Drunken Rocky Road that neither of us are a fan of marshmallows in ice cream. Neither one of us really enjoyed that aspect of it. So I decided to do something a little different this time. We'll get to that later in the show.
Yeah, the texture of the marshmallow is just
Yeah, it
throws
doesn't
me
really
off.
cut it with ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Can you make an ice cream beer or a beer ice cream?
I didn't try with beer. I actually used Bailey's again. Um, but I suppose a chocolate stout might make a good beer. I
Or
know for a fact
Ice
a
cream.
chocolate stout makes good brownies, and yeah, ice cream. I meant to say. I know that chocolate stout makes excellent brownies, and if we get to it this week, you'll get to see that.
or maybe like a Cerveau or something like that. Maybe not quite like a beer, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
Zos,
I
trick
mean,
to
ice
making
cream.
beer with alcohol though is that alcohol doesn't freeze. So any alcohol at all in beer is going to make it very difficult. So when you see the last recipe that I made, you'll see that I actually made it with 5 egg yolks,
Hmm.
which is more egg yolks than you would normally put into an ice cream custard. But the egg yolks act as a thickener, which helps it to freeze in lieu of the extra alcohol. Because this particular ice cream recipe I made is really boozy. It uses a whole cup of Irish cream.
oh,
So-
okay. So you get a good buzz while you're eating your ice cream.
Well,
well, the recipe calls for you to put it in when you're cooking off the eggs, but I waited and put it in after the eggs had cooled.
So you
So
don't cook it off.
so it
So you
doesn't
don't
cook
cook
off
off
the
the alcohol.
alcohol.
yeah, it
Right.
makes like a
Good.
chewy beer, maybe like Zozo said, chewier beer.
That's
What do you
funny. I
drink?
was
Okay,
oh,
sorry.
just real quick. Zoso dude shouted out in regards to Cosmic Grandpa's beer for when you like to chew your beer because it's a
Yeah.
cookie bar.
Mhm.
And he threw us
Indeed. And thank you.
777 gold pills. Thank you, Zoso brother. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So tonight, I tapped into. I just literally just got home from a Bruce on the Loose adventure. I was out. I traveled south in Florida this weekend, and you'll see part of the Bruce on the Loose segment later. But I was all over Florida, southeast coast this time, and got to have some fun. So with that, I came home and I pulled out one of the. Uh, I have a whole refrigerator full of. Actually, I have a wine refrigerator full of beers. And apparently, my sister dropped one last time she was here, and it broke, and it left a mess all inside the fridge. And she cleaned up as best she could, but she didn't get everything. So some of the beer bottles still had some beer on it, and it had some black mold on it. So I pulled those out and took it out and cleaned them off. And I figured, you know what? I got one out. It's cold. I'm going to crack it and make sure it doesn't taste bad because I know mold can't get into the bottle, but I don't know. It sat for so long with whatever was sitting in there. I don't know which one she broke, but probably one of the more expensive ones, and just didn't tell me. She didn't show me the bottle, so I have no idea. Anyway, I pulled out one of my Founders Breakfast Oatmeal Stouts. So cheers to you guys in my Gators Tebow mug. And as we all know, for those who followed it, March Madness, the Gators took the cup. Gators won. Go Gators. Cheers, everybody. Doesn't taste any different, so it didn't go bad, thank God. But since we're all drinking dark beers tonight, um, I just found it interesting. I wonder if Hawk would have flown in with a Jack and Coke, which would have made his a dark drink too.
Indeed.
So, hope you're okay, Hawk, out there doing the Hawk things. We'll catch you on the flip side. We'll catch up with you later. In the meanwhile, let's read the chats. And I've got Pilled open, so I can start if you don't mind.
All right.
I'd like to
Let's
end
flip
up
it
with
around
Bill.
and let's start with Bill.
You want to end
Yeah.
with
Doing
Pilled?
that lately?
We usually do, but no, we could start with Bill. It's fine.
So Willie Fix It, of course, was the first one in, and then we were right behind him. Willie Fix It. We got Music Man 75 in the house. We got Zoso Dude Q&A holes out there. Zoso Dude, Zoso Dude, Zoso Dude, and that's all I see out there now. Although it says we've got multiple viewers on the Foxhole, so we've got
We're just about to have a whole
A
bunch.
raid from
Oh my
Belushi.
God, Belushi's raiding our channel! Oh, look at you!
This is why I like
Crack-
to end with Bill, because we
Crack
usually
the
do a
whip,
couple raids.
Belushi, Match 1776, WS Hawks fans.
Let's
Fletcher
not do that,
12.
Bruce. Let's not read every single raid in. Let's just read the comments.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Good to see you too, Music Man 75. Thank you very much. Awaken Mom is in the house. Belushi brother, good to see you. Easy Does It, thank you for saying hello. And Ghost Pepper, good to see you out there, Ghost Pepper. And you guys got to check out Ghost Pepper's show on Madness Comic Network. All right, let's throw it over to you, Cosmac, while the raid continues to happen.
Yeah, we'll get some more hellos over there. That's, like Norm said, why we usually like to do Pilled last, because we usually end up getting a raid just about this time. And Belushi, we very much appreciate it. Belushi, of course, being the center square on Foxhole Squares, and a great show. Absolutely. So yeah, let's start over in the
Well, we got somebody over
on
now.
Madness.
Yeah.
On,
Go
oh,
ahead.
we do have somebody over on the Odyssey. You are right.
They dropped us at, what is that, library coin? I don't know what Odyssey uses for their
That's library coin, and that's very
yeah.
useful because we post using library coin. So we appreciate that, Connor McKebab 5000, and he appreciates our beer and our beards.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, we appreciate having you here too. Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out, Norm. Yeah, and over on the YouTube, we have Deepak joining us, and I'm sure Pops will be popping by here shortly. Nobody over in the Rumble or the X that I can see yet. Over in Twitch, we have somebody, as usual, trying to sell us cheap views on Streamboo, but nothing new there. And of course, last but never least, is our good friends over on the D Live. And that started out, of course, with Willie Fix It, doubling up over there. John Rogers, who we always enjoy seeing. TL Spud. Artist 61, the winner of last night's Foxhole Squares. So congratulations, Artist 61.
Wow, a woman won it. Nice.
A woman has won almost every one, Bruce. I think out of 16, the guys have won 3 times.
Wow. All right.
The girls almost always win.
Good to know.
But it was definitely a great show last night. I know in the beginning there were a few technical kinks and a few glitches in the show, but last night's went absolutely perfectly, and so the glitches are worked out. It's a fantastic show. You definitely want to check it out if you haven't. So after Artist 61, we had Jayla 17, Bad Zoot. Always good to see you. The only person in our chat who has their very own sticker. Peggy Dancer is with us. Maybe Q Chris. Good to see you. Val
Good to
Kimber.
see you, Chris.
Always good to see you. And Syllabore was last in. And nice healthy chat over there. Nice crowd. Good to see you all.
Very cool. Very cool. And thank you, because we've got so many people that just jumped in from Belushi's raid. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys. We appreciate you. We're going to be covering some Bruce on the Loose down in Florida. Cosmic's got some recipes for you, and we're just going to banter a bit and have some fun and take it easy and be cozy on an AF, cozy AF on a Sunday night before everybody's got to go to work Monday morning. So let's throw it up to Cosmac and see what he's got for this week in beer.
All right. Well, let's see what this
And
weekend beer has to bring us.
we got another raid coming in, by the way. Oh no, we don't. Sorry.
Nope, still
No,
Belushi's
it's just
raid.
somebody
Yep.
else coming in from Belushi. Yep.
Ah.
Thank you all for joining us. We're glad to see you. And once again, thank you, Belushi, for throwing that raid our way. We really appreciate it.
Thank you every week for doing that, Belushi, because I think he's done it pretty much every week.
Been doing pretty consistent, yeah.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Check out Belushi, by the way. He has a fantastic show on Pilled. You'll look up Belushi, and some great music, great talk, great people in chat. Just good vibes all the way around. All right, so for this week in beer, so since the theme for this week is Easter leftovers, the top story that I have for this week in beer is actually one that I skipped over last week. I meant to talk about, which was the fact that Vice President J.D. Vance met with the Pope on Easter Sunday. And I was actually going to comment. I had a note written down that the Pope wasn't really looking too good, and that maybe we ought to be putting him on that list that we had Bob Barker on a couple years back, if you remember, when we celebrated his 99 and a half birthday special. Very prophetic of us, given that the man came as close to 100 as possible without going over. Got to give him credit for that.
Didn't Betty White do the same thing? Didn't Betty White die just before her 100th birthday party? They were going to have a big celebration?
Yeah,
I don't know. We didn't cover that on the show, so.
No, we didn't, because she was already ahead of us.
We'll have to go back and do a Betty White tribute show at some point. So, but anyway, of course, that would have been kind of morbid had I brought that up, because, of course, the morning after last week's show, we woke up to the news that Pope Francis had, of course, died during the night. So we are currently popeless, as they say, or pope-free, since there is no vice pope to step in. And I guess we have to wait now while the Vatican pollutes the air to find out who a bunch of guys in robes are going to pick to be God's representative on earth. Because somebody's got to do that, right? I mean, God's a busy guy. He can't do everything.
I agree, but I got a comment, a sidebar, if you don't mind, about that situation. Yeah. I do believe J.D. Vance's conversation is what finally pushed him over the edge.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because right after that, I saw this meme that I thought was really good. And who do you want J.D. Vance to visit next?
Oh, yeah. Love it. That's great. That's hysterical.
Wait, do you think the Pope was waiting his whole life to meet J.D. Vance before he could actually die?
He didn't even know who the hell J.D. Vance was.
So which cardinal do you think it's going to be the next bishop? I'm kind of hoping Mahoney will be, just because I met the guys a couple of times. But
I honestly don't think there'll be anyone. I don't think they're going to pick a pope right now. I think they're going to kind of hold off. I truly believe they're not going to pick a pope just yet. I don't know. I may be wrong.
There's going to be an American pope for once, because a North American pope. That would be interesting. That would be.
Who would you even consider for that?
The cardinal in my diocese right now could be up for it in Los Angeles. Mahoney.
Okay.
Well,
Roger
technically,
Mahoney.
any cardinal, well,
Yeah.
technically anybody could, but I
Well,
mean, the
a
cardinals
cardinal.
tend to choose from among themselves.
Yeah.
But technically, any cardinal could.
Yeah,
You know,
and
any cardinal could be
Well,
chosen.
we have quite a
it's
few
funny
cardinals.
because the cardinal here in New York. Well, I'm in Florida now, but the New York cardinal. What the hell is his name? He's friends with Trump. Um, he wants to stay as
Yeah.
far away from that as possible.
Yeah.
He
But
doesn't want any part of it. So I don't know. Who do you think? I mean, outside of
that's
West
kind of
Coast Florida, I don't know. I'm not involved in that being Jewish. I don't follow any of that. I heard he died. I heard J.D. Vance visited him, and then the next day he was dead. So I'm like, I'd like to know what J.D. Vance said to him, and that just was the first thought that came to my mind. It's like, die now or you're getting convicted. I guess I don't know. I just J.D. Vance is good or
oh,
sent the devil packing. Unfortunately, the Pope's soul has already been consumed by evil. You know what? I agree with you. I
it,
agree with you.
the Pope before Francis actually he didn't die. He retired, which was the first in history.
Mm-hmm.
And
First
that
time
was
since 1600 and something, the Pope
Rat
retired while still alive. Yeah.
the Bishop Ratzinger. Is he still alive? I'm just wondering if how that would work since I think he's still alive. Um, so I was wondering how that would
I
work.
just watched a documentary on that the other day. The secession was really interesting, actually. It was
Yeah,
really because of the fact that it was the first time
yeah,
that a pope
exactly.
had retired as opposed to dying. Um,
So
yes, he
crack
really
that
says
whip
Benedict.
goes good riddance to the evil Pope rot in hell. And then Ghost Pepper was like, Bruce will change the topic. Watch out. And then Ghost Pepper was like, Bruce for Pope 2025. Well, I'm already bald. You might as well. Oh man.
Indeed. All right. Well, one other little bit of this week in beer. I happened to see this when I was watching one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's actually a channel called Feely from Germany. It's this cute young woman who emigrated here from Germany about 10 years ago when she was like 16 years old. She's been living in Cincinnati ever since, and she has a fun little channel on YouTube. Very not political, but was very interesting during the recent German elections. But anyway, the thing that I saw on her channel was pointing out that last Wednesday was actually the 509th anniversary of Reinheitsgebot, which is the German purity law,
Wow.
which of course is the law that says that beer has to be made out of 4 ingredients. Well, at the time it said 3. It
Yeah, they
said
changed it
water,
to yeast.
barley, and hops, and they added yeast in the 1900s after they discovered yeast. But so now Reinheitsgebot is technically 4 ingredients. And I just thought it was really funny because that very night, after I saw this, on Coffee Talk with Sandra, which is a great show, check it out on Pilled, her guest, who happened to be Pops Van Zandt, and her were talking about ingredients in food. And I mentioned in the chat that as a brewer, the TTB currently has a list of over 70 ingredients that I'm legally allowed to add to beer. And that list of ingredients actually includes fish bladders, whale testicles, and beaver's anal glands, among other things. And that doesn't even
Oh my
include all
God.
the allowable non-natural ingredients like propylene glycol and EDTA, which of course is made from formaldehyde and cyanide.
The
Why would you want to put that shit in your beer?
it's a clarity. It's a clarifying agent to make
The
a
fish bladders is actually
yeah.
an ingredient called isinglass. Isinglass is added to beer at the very end of the brewing process, at the very end of the lagering process. And what it does is it attaches itself to all the yeast that's floating around in the beer and then sinks to the bottom. So you can then siphon off all the good beer and leave all the yeast in the bottom. So the fish bladder is actually an ingredient that they say that only 0.001% ends up in the finished product. So you're only drinking 0.001% fish bladders in your American beer.
Wow.
But yeah, it could be worse. At least, yeah. But it also makes the vegans like say, "Well, this is not a vegan product, too." So if you to a strict vegan, you can't have a vegan menu with a beer that you thought was vegan because it has fish bladder in it.
Ugh.
That
Okay.
was the,
Yeah,
yeah, but
exactly.
I want
Good point. Shout
I
outs,
want
by
to
the way, to Mr. Tizo, Daily Insanity, and Sloan TV, who
I,
dropped some
I,
comments over in the Pilled. Good to see you all.
and I want to do a shout out for representing the Rumble, Rocky, my friend, the Drunken Rocky, who was on the show a few weeks ago, and he moved his show now to Friday nights on Rumble. So if you ever
All right.
want to check him out, check him out over in the Rumble.
Now, indeed. The one thing that I did see is going to be changing in beer ingredients, and this is particularly ironic, Norm, considering that you mentioned how red your beer was, is that they are, thanks to RFK Jr., going to be eliminating dyes, artificial dyes in beer. So your
Can't
beer is going to
wait.
get less colorful.
But I want to know if he's going to remove all the soy from all of the products out there. I am allergic to soy, and I can't eat anything with soy in it. I start getting phlegm. I start getting, you know, verklempt, and I can't drink that. I can't eat or drink anything with soy in it, and it drives me crazy because they got soy in everything. I'm reading labels every single day, and it's crazy. But the
I
food dye, absolutely, take it all out, get rid of it all.
I
Go
have the
ahead, Norm.
same. I have the same problem, not with corn, but not so much. If ever I have too much corn, I can definitely notice that I have too much corn, and you'd be surprised at how much things corn syrup is in, or especially high fructose corn syrup, which is even worse for
Exactly.
you. And it doesn't digest properly. And they say it's okay in moderation, but how could you eat it in moderation or have it in moderation when it's in everything? Seriously, like how much is that moderation? And it's that's been always bugging me. But the same thing with soy. The soy is fine for you in moderation, Bruce, but you can't. Yes, you're right. It's in everything. It's a filler. You're muted. Muted, Bruce.
They're using soy as a base product for
Hmm.
everything. It's the foundation for mayonnaise. It's the foundation for peanut butter. Why? What's the point? Because it's
Oh,
cheap, or because
yeah,
it has so much estrogen in it that
the
it
bot.
dulls
No,
down the testosterone in men, so that we've become a eunuch society.
you're getting a little too much into it, but I think that not that I disagree with you, but yeah, it is down to the bottom dollar. Where if you look how much more profit they can make by putting more fillers in it, it
Yeah,
cheap fillers, and sell what appears to be more of the product. It's that should be just illegal in general to because it's not honest. So, in my opinion,
exactly.
so
It's very frustrating for me because I can't eat that stuff.
in 311 Hero, yeah, the cocaine in moderation, and but probably your cocaine is cut with baby powder or something like that. Just to let you know. So you're not getting like a full, like pure cocaine either. So I hate to tell you that.
Uh,
So
depends on his source. As
yeah,
long
well,
as it
that's what
doesn't
I'm
have
saying.
fentanyl in it.
Yeah, yeah. Baking soda, baby powder. There's gonna be something in there that's not good for you. So,
Crazy. Good to see you, Awaken Mom. Howdy, howdy, darling. All right. So what else we got, Cosmac?
Well, that was what I had for this week in beer. And see, we're right at the halfway point of the first half of the show, so I can either. Yeah, I was waiting for you to see that, Bruce.
That's funny. TL Spuds. Yeah, I won't even let my girlfriend touch my shoulders, let alone my mustache. Thank you. Yes, I'm a hairy bastard. You can't miss it.
I got hair
Connor
too, but
McKebaugh.
mine isn't on my shoulders. It ends right
Connor
here.
McKebaugh was asking about the estrogen. Are you saying corn has estrogen, or did you mean soy?
Soy.
I think we were talking
That's,
about the soy. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just talking about corn being in thing. I wasn't talking about corn having estrogen. I was just saying it's in everything, and it doesn't digest well. And then when you mutate the sugar levels to have more fructose than uh, glucose, you're even messing things up even more. That I
Yep.
don't even want to get into because it doesn't tell you you're full. The glucose is what tells your body it's full. So that's yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
debatable. Allegedly, that's debatable, and you can't tell when you're drinking in moderation. Beer, Beef is good food. Do you mean
I think he means
beer?
beer, and yep,
Yeah,
beer is
or
liquid bread,
yeah,
absolutely. Although beef is good food too, I won't argue
yeah,
with that. But
exactly.
So did you see what Music Man put in the chat? Eggs, meat, cheese, nuts. You'll thank me later. I don't eat nuts so much, but I do eat meat, cheese, and eggs on a regular basis. I'll have 3 to 4 eggs in the morning with either avocado oil or a huge slab of butter in the bottom of it. The more fat you have in your diet, proper fat, the less sugar you'll need to consume or you want to consume, and your body will burn off the fat the proper way, bringing you into a ketosis state. So that's what my goal is, to be ketotic, I guess is what it would be called, or to be in ketosis. My cousin is pure ketosis right now, and he's losing like a pound every other day. So he's doing great. So no beer. Yes, I know, Music Man.
yeah,
That is my downfall. That has always been my downfall since college. Somebody gave me a beer once, and just I couldn't stop drinking it after that. So I get it. Yeah, no beer. Very hard to do.
And
Yes, Awaken Mom. Fauci did do an experiment on the frogs and turned them gay,
I
and
don't
it
know
was
if
all
that was.
because of the soy.
I don't know if
Why
that
do you
was
think we call them soy boys?
Fauci. I know about his experiment on the beagles that made me pissed, but yeah,
Now he did experiments on frogs too, but yeah, the beagles, that where he cut their vocal cords so they couldn't whine anymore. I'd like to do that to him because he's gonna whine once they start torturing him.
and then all the fleas. Yeah,
Right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't get me started. I'm
yeah.
just gonna get upset.
Let's not digress there. So
All right. Um. So where do you want to go next, Cosmac?
well, let's see. We got about 25 minutes before intermission. Do we want to go into a recipe? I've been holding on to
Let's
one
do
for
it.
a while.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it. We haven't done cooking segment. We haven't done a full cooking segment in a little bit, so go for it.
Yeah, well, the last time we did, I managed to get the couple shows back. I did the salted caramel chocolate tart. If you guys remember that, let me see if I can find the last picture of that one that I did. There it was. That was the salted caramel chocolate tart. And I did that from a recipe that was supplied by former Royal Chef Darren Grady. If you want to look him up on YouTube. It was absolutely delicious, but I was feeling like it was missing something. And of course, the something that it was missing was alcohol. Didn't have any alcohol in it. So
There you go.
So I actually, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I did an ice cream, which haven't prepared the pictures and video for just yet, which was an Irish cream ice cream made with not Bailey's, because Bailey's is way overpriced for what it is. You can get other Irish cream that will do exactly the same thing and taste exactly the same thing for half the price. But I made a Irish ice cream with salted caramel and chocolate, and I just had some of that before the show, and it's really quite good. But the recipe that I have been sitting on now for a week or so ago is this recipe, which also involved getting some beer into the mix. And that was, in fact, a recipe for, it started out as coffee stout beer brownies, is what the recipe was. But because of the particular varieties of stout that I ended up using in them, it ended up being oatmeal cherry chocolate coffee stout beer brownies, which is a mouthful. But that's because the beers that I used were a oatmeal coffee stout from Terrapin Brewing, and I needed 16 ounces of stout, and I only had a 12-ounce can of the Terrapin left over from when I had it on the show. I have a tendency to drink 5 out of a 6-pack, and so I have a whole refrigerator full of singles or doubles. Luckily, they've started selling 4-packs now, so that's going to be better for the show, I think. But so what I used for the remaining 4 ounces was an Ellicottville cherry chocolate stout that I happened to have that I thought would be a nice accent. So that's how I ended up with oatmeal cherry chocolate coffee stout beer brownies. So yeah, and this particular one also does something special. This one uses some imported chocolate. Now the Swiss are known for their chocolate, but believe it or not, there is actually a famous Swedish chocolate as well. It's called Marabou, and in fact, to demonstrate that this is imported, if you can see the fine print on there, I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it. It is most definitely not English. There's not even an English translation on the label. But yeah, I discovered that those chocolates were Swedish chocolates were famous quite a few years back when I saw the Swedish chef talking about Swedish chocolate.
Yum 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 with the chocolate. It's very the good chocolate. Or no, the mousse. Mousse mousse. The mousse. And good. The chocolate or the mousse.
Wait a minute. Enough. Stop.
So yeah, that was Swedish chocolate. Swedish chocolate mousse, in fact. This recipe doesn't call for any mousses, though. No mousses were harmed during the making of this. What were harmed were a few eggs, which are actually affordable again, which is good, and some butter and some flour and some vanilla paste, which I've taken to using rather than vanilla extract, because vanilla paste is kind of pure mashed vanilla beans, where vanilla extract is basically where the vanilla flavor has been extracted with alcohol. So there's alcohol in it. It gives it a different flavor. So the vanilla paste is kind of a nice variation, and it adds some genuine vanilla specks in your final product as well. And of course, white sugar, brown sugar, and two different kinds of chocolate. I do have some Swiss chocolate in here in the form of unsweetened cocoa powder, as well as the Swiss chocolate that you saw there, the Swedish and the Swiss cocoa. Finally used that up. That's been in my closet for way too long. So what I started out doing was reducing the beer. So what I did here is I poured a half a cup of water into the pan, and then I just used a random spoon to measure how much a half cup is in this pan. Because what I want to do is I'm going to put 2 cups into the pan, and I'm going to reduce that down to a half a cup. So I needed to know how much a half a cup actually was in the pan, so that I knew when I had reduced to that level. So I'm starting out with 2 cups, which is 16 ounces. So there's my 12 ounces of the Terrapin Wake and Bake coffee oatmeal stout. And yes, Ghost Pepper, vanilla extract is nasty, so you're welcome for the paste idea. So yeah, that's Terrapin Wake and Bake oatmeal coffee stout. And then the other beer, as I said, that I used was from Ellicottville, which is another New York brewery. So we got lots of New York beers in here. And this one, as I said, it's very important that this one is cold. There's a trick to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour out 4 ounces of this beer, which of course is cold, and I'm going to add that to the 12 ounces of beer that's already in the pan to make the 2 cups that I'm going to start with to get my quarter cup reduction. And then while I turn on the heat and I let that start to reduce, with the remaining 8 ounces of cold beer, I'm going to pour in a glass for the chef. And the chef is going to enjoy that beer while the rest of the beer reduces.
I somehow knew that's where that was going when you said this has to be cold.
Yeah, there's a reason that it has to be cold. So
That's funny.
and you can see the greased brownie pan there in the background doing its thing. And I do believe that what I will do here is show a speeded up rendition of the reducing process. Yes, TL says important part of the process. If you've ever watched any cooking shows on PBS, Julia Child, Galloping Gourmet, any of those, you will know that it is very important for the chef to enjoy the products of cooking, especially when there's alcohol involved. Now, a warning here: boiling beer requires careful management of the heat.
Turn it off.
Or you will overflow the pan, as you saw there. And this is going to take 20 minutes, a good solid 20 minutes, longer than it took to drink the beer, that's for sure, to reduce. But it is going to reduce all the way down to 1/4 of a cup. So that is some extremely concentrated stout beer flavor there. Combination again of oatmeal, coffee stout, and cherry chocolate stout. So
Now, when doing that, Cosmic, a quick question for you. You are burning off the alcohol, aren't you?
yeah, there is no alcohol in this. Um, so there certainly isn't any left by the
It's
time
just
this is
more for
done.
the
But
flavor than anything
this
else.
is absolutely for the flavor. And this is a trick. If you want fudgy brownies, if you want your brownies to be fudgy rather than completely cake like, you want some of that good fudgy consistency to it, stout beer is the ingredient to use. My chefs at the brewery told me that 10 years ago at a Penn Brew U. They did a brownie recipe where they used the stout. And
So,
yeah,
and
so
yeah, and
go ahead.
could I
I'm
just
getting the
comment
picture back. Good.
on the chat real fast? Where
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Mikey Baseball is asking everybody what their favorite beer is. So go ahead and at Mikey Baseball and tell him what your favorite beer is, because I'm kind of curious myself. That's a good question, though. So
Any coffee stout, we know that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. We know Bruce is all about the coffee stout. So there is what's left right there, which is 1/2 cup of pure stout flavor right there, which is going to go into the mix. And then I'm going to take that Swedish chocolate and I'm going to chop that up into two portions. The majority of it is going to go into the main mix, and the smaller portion that I have off to the side is actually going to get sprinkled on top at the end. And what that's going to give is some nice chocolatey bits that'll be there. Uh, so yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the majority of the chocolate and the butter that I had in there, and I'm going to put that in a microwave safe container, and I'm going to melt that very slowly in the microwave in 30 to 60 second increments tops. And I'm going to melt that down until that reaches a nice smooth consistency. With the butter in there, it's not as hard to do. If you were doing this with pure chocolate, you have to be super duper careful, or it'll just seize up and turn into a solid mass of chocolate. I hate it when chocolate seizes. So, but anyway, whoops, I got ahead of the batter. So let me make some batter here. So there is my melted chocolate with the chocolate and butter fresh out of the microwave. And to that, I'm now going to add in the brown sugar, and I'm going to mix that in. And I'm going to add in the white sugar. So both sugars go in here. So that is a lot of chocolate and sugar right there. That's
I'm having a
serious.
diabetes coma already watching
That's
you doing that.
that's what I was just thinking. There's a sugar coma involved in there somewhere, or a very excited 2-year-old, an overexcited. And I'm not quite sure why I didn't speed this up a little bit. It's kind of boring, so let me get ahead here. And pretty sure at this point I am putting in the eggs. So I'm mixing those in. This is cooled enough now that it's not going to cook the eggs. You can't put eggs directly into a super hot mix like that, or you're just going to cook the egg. You'll end up with poached egg floating around in your mix. Um, so the eggs go in, and now the coffee stout goes in. So far, this is really, as you can see, not a terribly complicated recipe, which is important for me because I don't bake for crap. So,
You seem to be
and
doing pretty good on a regular basis, though. I can't, can't knock
TL says I
your
love,
one for trying.
yeah. TL says I love a good whisking. Yeah, I will admit I'm getting a little bit better at it. As Norm pointed out, that tart turned out like amazingly like bakery quality almost. I was really surprised at that. And these actually came out really good too. Now here I'm using a little bit of that English salt that I used in the tart. This is that English flaked sea salt, the that Chef Grady recommended. And here goes a cup and a quarter of the flour and some cocoa. And that's basically the dry ingredients. And now I do not want to mix this too vigorously at this point. I don't want to like beat this with a batter. I just want to lightly mix this together. I'm not sure why that is, but that's what the instructions say, so that's what I did. It says, "Do not beat excessively. Just get it barely mixed together until all the powder disappears and everything is just mixed." And in it's going to go into my pre-greased parchment paper lined pan. And that is going to go into the oven. Oh, well, before it goes into the oven, here's where those chocolate sprinkles I was talking about come from. So the loose chopped chocolate, I kept about quarter cup total. That's going to go on top, and that is going to make a really, really nice coating. Not a. It's not like a topping. The little bits will work their way down in, and they stay bits. It doesn't melt together into like a solid coating or anything, and it really is good. And then last but not least, a little bit more of that excellent English sea salt, because salt does bring out the flavor in chocolate. It really does. And from there, that is going into the oven. And when it comes out, it's going to look something like this. Like I said, you can see that the chocolate didn't melt into one solid piece. It's strung all across the top. So
It looks delicious.
and what you want to do is you want to bake those. They're not going to come out completely clean, but you want to bake them until a toothpick comes out just a little bit dirty. You don't want it to have liquid on it, but it is going to have some crumbs on it. That's just the way that it is with fudgy brownies.
Well done. Medium well, would you say?
I don't know if that term applies to baking. I would have to ask Mrs. Spud. But, she's our baking expert. So there's my pan, and there they are divided up. And what you can see there is that is a very fudgy brownie consistency. They came out almost 2 inches thick, which was really surprising to me because usually my brownies come out flat. They come out more like fudge. But yet these are still fudge-like. They're still very fudgy for being a cake height brownie. And of course, they've got that little bit of crunch on the top with a little extra chocolate. And if you get just a little bite of that salt, boy, it really bangs. Yeah, there's a close-up of the texture. And this is probably the second time that I baked, and it actually came out half decent. So, yeah, there they go into the container. And that is tonight's Cooking with Booze. We finally got to the Swedish chocolate. So I can take the Swedish chef off of our thumbnail. It's been on there the Swedish chef has been on our show thumbnail for 3 weeks now. So I was trying to get to that.
That's great.
Indeed. All right, we've got just a couple of minutes before intermission. Did you see any beers go by that you wanted to shout out? I saw some other good stuff in the chat.
I saw some chocolate go by in the chat that Jason put out there, and I commented to him that it reminded me of the chocolate, the THC chocolate candy bar I had while I was hanging out with Judy the Lady Pug and Anka Vanka last week. Her son-in-law had some, or nephew had some, and he gave me some. So it was pretty good.
But I do want to tell Mikey Baseball. I already told him in the chat that my go-to beer is Racer 5, and it's from Bear Republic. It's regional to California. I don't think they sell it outside of California. They might in some of the neighboring
I found
states.
it here on Long Island once. I did
Okay.
find it out on Long Island once. Well,
But
I'm here in Florida today, but yes, I did find it back in New York.
okay, that's good to know. Mikey Baseball was just asking about everybody's
Yes.
favorite beers, and this is
And-
mine. You said Guinness, Bruce, and yeah,
He and I like Guinness.
yep.
So next time I go hang out with Mikey Baseball, I'm gonna have to take him out for a Guinness.
So, but this is my go-to beer, the one I normally drink when I'm just hanging out, as my friend Drunken Rocky would know. This is the one I'm usually drinking when I'm hanging out with him.
1,000 milligram chocolate bar. Yeah, indeed. 1,000 milligrams.
It's either
You eat one of those squares and you'll be on your ass.
it's either this one or Sierra Nevada are the two go-to beers that Sierra Nevada is nostalgic to me. That's one I have my appreciation.
I thought you were a Stone guy.
Yeah, it's Stone too. Not so much anymore since they were bought by Asahi, I believe, brought them a while back, and they didn't change that much, but it's just they're no longer kind of like a family-owned beer. They're a corporate beer now, and I just
Right. Okay.
but their quality is still pretty good even after Asahi bought them. Was it Asahi or was it another brewery that bought them? So I do still drink Stone occasionally, but just not as much anymore. So
Gotcha.
No, it was Sapporo. It was Sapporo.
It was a Japanese.
You knew it was one of the Japanese ones.
Yeah. So
my friend Kelly just texted me a couple days ago from a bar in Canada, and she was drinking a Sapporo. And I said, I had a Kieran the other day on the show. So.
Yeah. I think Sapporo has an actual brewery up in Canada.
Probably
where they,
that might be why she was having. She was up in Ontario, so that's where her mom lives. So anyway, all right. So we have made it to the midpoint of the show. So I do have a little intermission lined up for us tonight. In fact, the first part of tonight's intermission is a little intermission video that was created by Sandra from Coffee Talk with Sandra over on Pilled. Follow Coffee Talk with Sandra on Pilled, by the way. This particular bit ran during last night's Foxhole Squares, which, as I've said before, is a great program. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already, and not just because I'm a regular on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and
just
play
bruising
it, and then we'll comment. Go ahead, Bruce.
I said you're just bruising it a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, but that is hosted over on Sandra's channel, so the Foxhole
It is
Scare.
Coffee Talk with Sandra.
So if you're looking for it, that's where you can find it. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a good follow. Yeah, I will play it without further comment, and we will talk about it after the intermission, which, by the way, is a little short tonight. It's 4 minutes, not 5, so be forewarned.
I was just going to ask.
We'll be back in 4.
Give the pass a slip. Step on the grid. Break your mama's back. When a problem comes along, you must whip it before the cream sets out too long. You must whip it when something's going wrong.
Watch your see it.
Enjoy yourself, Captain.
Where's the starter? There's the starter.
Meanwhile, Batman and Robin examine a recording of the mysterious Galileo 2.
Shuttlecraft to Enterprise.
What was down there?
Well, it was Oh, forget it.
This place is amazing. You've really outdone yourself this time, babe.
You deserve it. Mick? Rog? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Of all the places, look who it is. It's Rog and Diane. G'day. How'd you get here? Drove? They drove here. Mick? Ken! What are you doing here? What a coincidence! What are you doing here? You, me and Rog, all in the same place. Michael Jamison? Is that you? Yes. As I live and breathe. It's Rog. What a coincidence. You would not bet that was going to happen, would you? This with Rog and Ken. Let's go to the bar.
We're happy little Vegemites, as bright can be. We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch and tea.
Our mummies say we're growing stronger every single week because we love our Vegemite. We all adore our Vegemite. It puts a rose in every cheek.
Everyone has their way of eating Vegemite, even straight from the jar. But there's one thing we all agree on. We love our Vegemite.
All right, and we are back. Yes, we do love our Vegemite, which, by the way, is expended yeast. That's basically, Vegemite is made from used beer yeast. So keep that in mind. And as I mentioned, the opening intermission tonight was from Sandra at Coffee Talk with Sandra. And I really don't think Sandra knew when she made that video what a actual fan of Devo I am. In fact, if she had told me that's what the picture was for, I could have just taken the picture wearing my actual Devo Energy Dome and saved her the trouble of editing the Energy Dome into the picture. But
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So you had no prior conversations with her before she made that?
No, I had no idea that was coming until I actually saw it live on the show last night. All I knew is that she had asked for a headshot, and I gave her one. And
that's great.
If I had known that's what it was for, like I said, I could have worn it. Yeah, Awakened Mom says Vegemite is horrible. Yeah, Vegemite and Marmite, they are the most foul things ever. I can't imagine.
I think a few years back we had a show about Vegemite, didn't we?
We did a whole show called Those Darn Marmites. Yeah.
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 And I was going to get some from my rabbi, but I couldn't get a hold of him in time because he loves that stuff and he has it sent in from England on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What, the Marmite
the
or the
Vegemite is Australian, the Marmite is English.
Marmite.
It's basically the same thing. They're made with slightly different process, but they're basically the same thing. They're basically yeast extract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Not something I'm comfortable eating.
Yep. And the exclusive TMZ video there of JD and Pope Francis was partying was provided by Dr. Clown. He's a great friend of Flip City Magazine, and he's also an excellent follow on X. Dr. Clown PhD. Give him a follow. He'll give you a laugh. Stop over and say good morning. He needs more people to stop and say good morning in the morning. So follow.
What
Dr.
time does he
Clown,
go live?
PhD on X. No, he's not live. He's just a commentator on X. He just.
Oh, okay.
But we played a number of his videos. He's got some great parody videos. He did some great stuff back during COVID that was pretty funny. Dr. Clown is where the Conspiracy Girl intro on Creative Chaos comes from.
Yes.
That's from Dr. Clown's video.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's a decent guy. We actually had him on the show at Creative Chaos, which Cosmic Grandpa and I are both affiliated with, as we are part of that show. I'm the co-host to Christy Mack, Flip City Magazine's one and only Christy Phillips, and there you go. Mine's sitting back in New York. I haven't had a chance to ask him to forward it to me yet. I'll wait till I get back to New York to crack mine open. But
we got
another raid.
We got
Warrior in the Garden. Love you, brother.
Warrior
Thank
in
you
the
so
garden.
much. Oh my God. We're getting another raid. Spazzo Yeti, Woke One, Top Gun, Warrior in the Garden, Zenit, Boneless Chicken, Unchained.
1776. One of the creators of Build said that dropped in too. So
Filtered. We got two raids.
No, he just dropped in right at the beginning of the raid to say what up.
Oh, pair of beards. Matt's back in the house. What's up, Matt? 1776. Thank you for staying in there with us. And we've got that other raid. Thank you so much, Warrior.
Indeed, one of the Mats, and of course, Mats and Pilled Foxhole are the sponsor of Foxhole Squares. They donate the gold pills that are given away every week on that show. So absolutely, and yes, Warrior in the Garden, you're not a bad guy.
No, you should check out his show when he's not streaming against us. But thank you for the rate. But Warrior in the Garden's a good dude, actually. Warrior
Indeed.
All right. Well,
I want to say hello to everybody out there.
Yeah, you go ahead, Bruce, because the second half of the show is pretty much Bruce on the loose. And I'm going to turn it over to Bruce, and I'm going to let him tell me where to drive.
And over in the Odyssey, Bruce, Connor McCabe 5000 wants to know how much you pinch.
Who did?
Over in Odyssey.
Connor McCabe wanted he misspelled it, but he actually wanted to know how much you bench. Because
I don't.
Your arms.
I don't anymore. If you can see, they're a little flabby. But I used to. I used to bench 225. After I broke my neck, I haven't been able to get anywhere close to that. So, and I've kind of taken, boneless chicken, Spazzo Yeti, a cookie in a can. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you. Appreciate you. But yeah, no, I haven't benched anything close to that since. So I'm slowly trying to get back up there. Right now I'm stuck at 100 pounds because I had to have neck surgery again. So doc didn't want me going anywhere above that. So that's all I get to, unfortunately. But I used to be a brick shithouse back in the day. Now I'm just a fat old man. And you'll see that when we go into Bruce on the Loose. So thank you, Spaz. Yes, people, if you're out there, hit that red pill. For those of you who are still with us, the red pill helps the algorithms, that helps the Mats understand where people's favorites are and what they like. So hit the red pill, and we always appreciate the gold pills. So thank you for that as well, everybody. But
and TL was asking if Dr. Clown was the dude from Media Bear. Yes, Dr. Clown is Media Bear on YouTube.
That's
so follow
correct.
Media Bear. You can find the parody videos there. Absolutely. Thank you, TL, for pointing that out.
All right. So last week on Bruce on the Loose, I was hanging out with Anka Vanka and Judy the Ladybug in down in Yankeetown, where we went to a place called Scooter Haven, which was really cool. Well, this past weekend, I dropped in on my cousin, Captain Russ, who you may have seen in last year's segments when we did Bruce on the Loose from Florida, and he's out in Titusville. Why don't you play that first video of me and him together just after the Star Trek Batman mashup you sent me in the
That
Telegram.
would be video number 1. Let me get Bruce number 1 lined up here, and here we go.
Hey guys, Bruce Q. Wayne here for 3BeerMen, and I'm down in Florida visiting with my cousin, Captain Russ. Say hi, Captain Russ.
Hey guys.
You've seen some of his footage before when we took the new boat out last year, and we had a lot of fun with that. So we're not doing it this week. We're only here for 2 nights, but maybe on the return trip, we'll see. Oh, we have to talk
as long as that wind's down. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I'm down
so
with that.
he took me to an indoor flea market mall, which used to be an old mall. As we know, the malls have died out here in America. We've got, of course, the refurbished version of that. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to take a walk through. So here we go. So what is this place called now? It's the Titusville Indoor Flea Market. They're calling it the Marketplace.
Right. Well, this is all.
Oh, okay, I see. And do people actually still use these kiosks here?
Some of no kiosks.
Like the lemon, and are they here maybe on weekends or something? Okay.
Maybe on the weekends.
Maybe on the weekends, but you've never been here on a weekend because you're always working too.
Yeah.
They've got a pizza parlor entrance and the GameStop entrance or Game Space entrance on the inside as well, so you can enter from either end. And they've got what looks like old leather couches down there. Those look comfy as fucking hell. Well, those were the restaurant couches. Well, those look comfortable as all get out. So they've turned it into a kind of like updated version of a mall, a retro version of a mall. And so you've got vintage stuff everywhere. And we're going to take a walk through.
It looks like a
It's
garden.
funny you say that. Yeah, I was going to pause it right there too and say, yeah, it looks just exactly like the mall I grew up in.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. It was originally a shopping mall that was in there. And when when all the stores finally went out, they closed it down and they put the building and the property up for sale. And the company that bought it was actually a large antique company. They do antique furniture and antique everything. And it's probably on about 4.5 acres of land. It's huge. The property's tremendous. And I'd say the mall itself is maybe on 2 acres of the 4.5 that's there. May even be more. It may even be 6 acres because they're actually expanding it and they're building another section to it. They're leaving this as is for now. And once they build a new building, which is supposedly going to be twice as big as this, they're going to tear this one down and refurbish, I guess, either gut it and refurbish it or tear it down and rebuild. But each booth has an aisle code and a number, a section code and a number and an aisle code, and that they don't have to be there to sell anything. There's actually cashiers on premises, which is really cool. And this video is 11 and a half minutes long, but I do a whole deep dive on these canes that I found because I still walk with a cane after the auto accident. My knee gives out every now and then, or my hip goes bad, and I kind of hobble around. So I use the cane quite a bit, especially when I'm doing distance walking around. So that was the shopping mall. You can go into it a little bit more until I pull out the first cane, and then I think video 2. Actually, you know what? Go to that section where I do the
I can
canes.
either try and forward to there, or I can go straight to video 2.
Go to video 2. I think that's the best one. Go to video 2.
No, I see where you're pulling it out. Let me run that for just a second first as the intro.
Yes. Batman needs a new cane. Wearing my Peruvian stick, but we've got some new ones here. Look really cool, and I wonder if any of them have knives inside them. So I'm going to ask you to hold that for me, cuz. And we're going to pull this one out and see. No, it feels too light. It feels too light.
I don't think they would.
Hey, dude, I've bought some fun ones.
Really?
I bought some canes with swords in them. Yes, I do. I don't carry them.
Here is
Ooh, there might be something in there. Can you keep the camera on me, good sir? Pause for 1 second, cuz. Okay, guys. All right, so what I did was I took the cane and I tapped it on the ground. And if there is a blade or something inside a cane, because most canes made of metal are hollow, and there have been times when I've actually stumbled upon one that actually had little glass vials in them that were used to store alcohol. You could put alcohol in these little vials. They look like test tubes, but they had a screw on top, like a cigar tube almost. You could put a cigar in them. You could put bourbon. You could put whiskey, alcohol of any kind. Screw the top in. They had rubber gaskets, and you drop them into the cane staff, and then you screw the top on. And that's when I tap them, I can tell that they're hollow or if they had something in it. So as I did tap that one, it rattled. And continue with the videotape. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. Guess what? Yes, TL, spuds or cocaine. There's something inside.
There it is.
Look at that.
Look at that.
You found one. Yes,
I
there
found a
is.
sword cane. Let's see what they want
I didn't
for
think
it,
they
though.
would here.
Let's see what they want for it, though.
Remember,
Someone
he
said
said
75.
he didn't think there
How
were
much
any
did
in
you guess?
there.
75 is guess.
75 is a guess. It must be over 18 to purchase. It was $49. It's marked down to $34. And if I can talk with the owner, maybe I can negotiate a better deal than the 34. But we shall see. In the meanwhile, there's cane number 1. I don't know, guys. Kind of satanic with the ram's head on it, or is it just me being, conspiratorial? It's actually a little too tall for me. I would have to have it cut down, but because the sword is a short sword, I could very easily.
Yeah.
Are you getting all this? Yep. I could very easily have a saw cut this and then move the cap down to my right. Right. Let me see this one. Compare the two. Not much. I wouldn't have to reduce it by much. 3 inches. I have to take 3 inches off the tip to balance them out. Okay, that's one. This one's funny, guys. Hold on.
There are pool cues in there as well, right? I see a pool cue.
There's actually some real fun ones. So I'm gonna, first and foremost, let me just say that there were probably a dozen plus canes in that barrel. Now that barrel was an umbrella stand barrel, and it was made out of ceramic, painted very nice, decorative, but he had all these canes in it. And I got a hold of the guy later on because I did wind up picking up quite a few of them. I didn't pick up the ones with the swords as much as I wanted to. I do have to drive back to New York with him. And if I get stopped, God forbid, it's a concealed weapon. And I don't want that kind of hassle. But it would take a little bit of work to cut that one down. Suffice it to say, there were some really nice pieces in there. And I did wind up buying a few of them. So, it's an 11.5-minute video. I don't want to go through all of the canes, but I do want to just say that the ones that I did buy, I don't know if you can fast forward to it, Cosmac, but see if you can find the one that's the duck head cane. that one was really cool. I didn't get to break that out as a separate video yet, but if you could speed up to that.
Did you come
Some
across
of the
any?
canes,
Did you come across any shillelaghs by any chance?
there were some that I thought could have been shillelaghs, but they weren't Irish. No, they were. One had a dragon carving on it, and it was mostly bamboo. It was all bamboo, and it was carved with a dragon on the handle, and it was hand carved, which was really nice. I actually picked that one up. There was an African cane that had African motifs all the way around it, painted with colors. But here's the one that really intrigued me the most because I'll let you watch. No. I'll be surprised if this one has one. I think it's empty. I think it's hollow. Yeah, it is. I thought it had a knife in it, but it was
The head comes
I thought
off
it was
the
hollow.
shaft. It's actually a reverse. So the head screws into the dowel, and it's just a solid piece. Like, this could also be used as a pool cue.
Yeah.
Look at the tip. So this is really cool. This is just an interesting piece because it's a duck's head.
Right.
I wonder what. Oh, okay. It was 99. They've reduced it to 59.
It looks like
It doesn't have any markings on it.
you could interchange that.
No
You
demarcation.
can if you find a sprued brass head that would go on it, and Amazon has a shit ton of them. You can go on eBay and find a bunch of brass heads. It's
I would
not.
think it would be the other way around. I think you'd be looking for a better stick for the head than
Yeah,
a better
yeah.
head for the stick.
Yes. Yes. But it was so interesting because as you'll play the video forward in a second, I figured something out. Norm said that there were pool cues in that same barrel, the umbrella barrel. Go ahead and play it forward, and let's get everybody in there.
Or trademark as to who the artist would be. Nothing on the tip. And it may have actually been a pool cue. Guys, somebody
That's
was
a cue stick.
ingenious enough to
That is a pool stick.
create a pool cue into a walking man's everyday cane. I don't know, guys. Is this Screaming Batman or Duckman? Darkwing Duck is coming back to you. That's actually a really nice piece.
Yeah, so I went through all the canes. That was the most interesting one for me. That it had that brass bucket. It's heavy as hell, but I did wind up picking that one up, and the guy gave me a stupid sweet deal on it because I bought so many of them. I basically paid like next to nothing for them all, and I wound up with like 6 or 7 canes. They're still in the truck. I haven't even had a chance to unload them. Otherwise, I would have brought them in to show you guys. But I don't know if you guys are interested in my walking sticks. So I just wanted to pull them up and part of the video and show it to you. But let me see here. Hold on a second. Now I want to go back into. Oh, no, I just closed out. Sorry. My list here. So from there, why don't we go into the pictures from the actual antique or hurricanes. Very good, Val Kimber. That's great. Hurricanes. I'd call them himicanes, but you never know. But there's a whole slew of photos that I dropped in the D Live. You can go right to the front of them at the top and show those. Now this thing caught my eye. I don't think I sent you that video. I thought or it may have been in the 11-minute video where I cut over to them after the gains, because out of my eye, I caught this in a showcase. and it was the Munstermobile. It was a 1/18th scale Ertel diecast Munstermobile from the Munsters TV show. And I was all over that when I was a kid. But they wanted way too much money for it, as you can see. It was absolutely obscene what they were asking for it. But
Yeah, that didn't work right. Hang on.
nope.
All right, let's just do it this way.
You can go to the next photo. So that's a side shot of it for anybody who doesn't know what Munstermobile looks like. And that
The
used to
front
be
end is
what was
like
on the
kind of a
show.
coffin, right?
Right. And then the back end has got the rumble seat, and then it's got the high back seat on top where you can
Well, yeah,
sit one or two more
Dra-
people.
Dracula
That's
was
where-
essentially made out of a coffin. It's
Yeah.
Correct. So that was Grandpa's from the Munsters. That was his race car, was a coffin, the Dragula, as it was called. Go ahead and forward to the next picture.
What was their address?
So this is just some interesting stuff that I saw at this. I'm sorry?
You should know what their address was, right?
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Correct. Yeah. All right.
Oh, come on, Norm. That was too easy. All right. So just run through a couple of the videos and I'll tell you when to stop. We were touring through the booths and there were some real interesting items. And I tried to take pictures of as much of the interesting stuff as I could. I found them to be very intriguing. This lantern was one of the pieces that I found. It was a mermaid holding up what looked like a globe, and the light bulb was inside the globe. This I gave to you, Cosmic, as a what the heck is can
sorry, wrong intro. Meant to do this one.
What the hell is even that?
All right, sorry.
There we go. So the what the heck is it didn't play for us. I don't know if it played for everybody else, Cosmic. I don't know if it played, but
it did.
This is a gizmo gadget of some kind that I'm sure somebody in the chats will know exactly what it is. I don't want to give it away just yet.
Does it move? It looks like something that you use for injection.
It does move, yes. Oh, it does move, absolutely.
And how big is it?
As a matter of fact, it also comes apart. Part of it comes off in order to allow it to move. So I don't want to give too much of it away, but I think there's 3 shots of it, Cosmic. I don't know if there's another one of it. So, and then there should be one more a lot closer up. There you go, a vertical shot of it. So, I'm betting TL Spuds has probably already guessed what it is.
How big is it? The Ghost Pepper and Sigurd.
What are they saying?
Well, Ghost Pepper says an injector, and Sigurd says a cake decorating tool.
Sigurd, no, but that was a great guess because I thought maybe it might have been that as well. But Ghost Pepper said it was an injection tool.
Yeah, an injector. That's all he said with a little raccoon raising its
yes,
eyebrows.
it does inject something. TL Spud, nice guess, but you're wrong. I'm surprised you didn't get what this was. I should have played with it a little more and took the top off of it accordingly.
Ghost Pepper
go
has
ahead,
a
Norm.
second guess, a suppository.
A suppository.
No, he says a suppository.
A suppository, yeah. Actually,
Deplorable Farmer says cork puller.
Deplorable Farmer?
Yeah.
Right on the head, deplorable farmer. Fantastic. So the cone piece, that's the L shape, the smaller piece at the very top of that picture, unscrews and it pushes into the bottle. It's got a stem. It's actually a pointed straw, a metal straw, and you push it into the bottle. And then as you push the plunger in, as you plunge it in, the air fills up from the bottle. It goes beyond the cork because and it lifts the cork out of the bottle. So yes, it is a cork puller, a cork pusher, as I would say,
Yeah,
because
it's
it
an
pushes.
air injector or cork
I
pusher outer.
actually have
Wow.
one of those. It has a syringe in it, and then you pump it. But mine's plastic. Mine's not metal. I don't even
Yeah,
know where
this
it's
is
at.
and the whole
Yeah.
thing is probably about, I'd say, a good 8 to 10 inches long when it's fully extracted and it's fully opened. Once you unscrew that little the tip and then you put it into the bottle, it still stays that long, but as you plunge it in, it does get to be about that 5 or 6 inches long once the plunger goes all the way down and pushes the cork out of the bottle. So very good, very good. And that's our what the heck is that segment
I
for
am
Bruce on the Loose.
impressed with Deplorable Farmer. And yeah, I'm still
And
sitting on a couple What the Heck segments, Bruce, from our trip to the Steel City Con.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we do. We have a couple of
Yeah,
those. Sure.
we found a couple of those. Yeah.
and by
So
by the
Very
way,
good.
Syllabore over in the pill chat or over in the D Live chat, which I wasn't looking at. I'm not sure when Syllabore said this, but said cork soaker. So still had something to do with a cork there, but I don't think that's
It,
quite the
it,
same
it
thing.
pushes the cork out.
Yeah.
It doesn't soak the cork. It pushes the cork out of the bottle. So very good. Very good. All right. So why
I
don't you go to the next section of photos because it's just some really cool stuff. That was a giant ashtray from Marlboro. You know, you had the Marlboro bucks, like you had the Camel bucks, and then you could collect them as you bought your packs of cigarettes.
the
And the more you
Marlboro were
collected, the more you.
miles. They had the miles where you tear off the little barcode on the
Right,
side,
right, right. And
and
then there's just a variety of cool looking mugs. I thought that was really cool. Rosie the Riveter. And that would be Imelda Marcos's motto: if the shoe fits, buy every color. And that was just a cool killer whale mug that I thought was interesting. I got a picture of it. Keep rolling. So this was a Rick and Morty character on the left and a Jack Nicholson red rum figure on the right
are you
from.
sure that could be several different characters? I guess that is Jack Nicholson. Yeah,
It's Jack Nicholson on the right with the
yeah.
axe. Yeah, that's from The Shining.
Mhm.
So all right,
All
keep
work and
going.
no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Exactly. Those were some really old antique bottles. I'm sure they were liquor bottles of some kind. There's Route 66, some bottles of beer that were unopened, and some just curio cabinet stuff on the bottom. Keep going. Just some really cool stuff. Some little die-cast cars, jewelry, a Bible, just cool kind of stuff. Keep rolling. Somebody made that. That was actually a kit. It's a little mini ukulele kit that you could build, and somebody built it and they were selling it. Yeah, that right there. That was just a really cool piece. I thought that was interesting. And these booths were full of shelves. This guy had some really cool old antique furniture. Chair I
Was
was
that
sitting in.
ukulele a cigar box ukulele by any chance?
No, it was a kit. It was actually a ukulele kit that was for a child, and you had to put it together, and then you strung it, and it worked. It actually played. But those were some antique chairs. The green one to my left is actually a really interesting, very ornate office chair, and it was beautiful. And he had like a few $100 on that one. And then the other one I was sitting in, I don't know if there's another picture of me out of the chair, Cosmac.
There is not.
Okay, I thought I'd sent you that one too, but it had really ornate decorative arms. It was all hand carved wooden arms, and then they had like a bulb on top of each one, just sitting on top. And it was a comfortable chair, but it was almost like a velvet plush. It was really nice, and it was the two-tone color striped, and then it had fringes on it. I'm sorry I didn't send you that other picture because that was a really cool looking chair. But I just had to sit in it and just see how comfortable it really was. But keep going.
It looks like something you would see in the TV show Mad Men, like a 1960s
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where the
advertising.
office chair came from.
What? That's where what?
That's where the office chair may have came from. Just roll through the pictures, give a couple of seconds. If anybody in the chats. This guy had a bunch of fishing rods that my cousin was interested in, and we had a really good conversation with him. And Joe was a really interesting guy. But he had a curio cabinet that was full of videos and DVDs and all kinds of stuff. Keep going. He had some pop vinyls down on the bottom. That was a store display showcase of some kind. Forgot where he said it was from, but he kept using it and at the flea market. Keep going.
I think I got some duplicate pictures in here.
Very possible. I may have accidentally overloaded you.
They just looked the same as pictures I already showed.
Okay. Just a whole rack of videos and DVDs and stuff.
I think that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Okay. There were a bunch more, but that's fine. It gets boring after a while. But let's go back to Telegram.
Well, there were a bunch of pictures of stacks of DVDs. I'm sure we could dig into the specifics, but I think you may have dropped a bunch into an old Discord somewhere.
I did. I couldn't. You know what? That blew me away because I was like, "Hey, wait, where did those go?" And they disappeared. So I think I accidentally dropped those in the other Discord by accident.
Where we have no control over anymore. Yeah.
The one they banned.
Exactly. I don't even know how I got into it. I don't even know how I got into it. It was so bizarre.
I still have access to it, but I didn't know any of you guys did. So
I still do have access to it because I created it with the account. I deleted it and then got back into it, and then everybody else that was moderator got deleted. So
I stepped into it somehow. I clicked on something and it opened up, so I dumped a bunch of pictures in there. Then I got out of it to go back and give you more photos, and I was looking at them, and then I went to go back, and it disappeared, and I couldn't find it again. So
I renamed it to not get confused with the new one, and it's still cool.
There were still other videos, Bruce, but there weren't any other pictures.
Yeah, no. Skip to the third video where I go into the roving bar, which is really cool.
Well, this is
the one after
video.
the king.
We'll see if it's the one.
Hey guys, we got another Bruce on the Loose segment here in Wellington, Florida. We are at the Wellington Marketplace, Lakeside Marketplace. Lakeside's a little park over here. It's a water park on the far side of me. Actually, it was behind me. And then as you can see, the tents are setting up. But there's something really cool that's parked right outside of the the Tipsy Tavern. We're gonna go check out the Tipsy Tavern and see what they have to offer. Let me see if I can get an interview.
Yes.
1 second. So I always ask before I start recording, which is why I turned off the videotape, because the bartender was really camera shy, and the bouncer, who Howard was on the right side of me, really didn't want to be interviewed because they'd have to get approval from corporate. So I go into
Yeah,
it.
we had a couple of those from Steel City, Bruce. If you remember, we wanted the stormtroopers to take a picture with their guns pointed at Bruce, and they
The
said, "Oh no,
501.
we're not allowed to do that."
Right. So the 501, the 501, the 501st is a group that spans the nation of cosplayers that are all Star Wars related, and they're all one big conglomerate group. And they have rules and boundaries that you have to adhere to. And they
They
dress up in cosplay as stormtroopers, as any rebel force. They dress up and they cosplay. They have lightsaber training classes that you can take. So it's a really cool group. So it's the 501st. If anybody out there is interested in looking them up, the
they
Star Wars fans.
they are officially sanctioned, but Lucasfilm, they're the only sanctioned,
Correct. They
and
are
that's
the
why they
only
are,
sanctioned cosplayers.
and that's why they are so so they don't want to lose that, and that's
Yep.
why they don't want to
And it was very
misrepresent
clear
by any.
when we said, "Can we take a picture with you?" Yeah, absolutely, great. Now, can you do this? No, hell no, we can't do that.
Yeah, they don't want to lose that. That's something they're very proud of. I know quite a few of them. I know a guy that dresses up like Boba Fett, and they go bar hopping sometimes, and it's fun to
Yes, they
hang out
do.
with them.
They
It's
do.
fun to go hang out with
They
them.
do. And sometimes they're actually at Disney World.
Yeah,
They actually
that
have
is-
done shows at Disney World where local and non-local performers, cosplayers, come to Disney World for these events, and they'll make a whole week of it. But
I used to work with this woman, Concetta, who actually had a wedding because her husband was in that, and she dressed up like Princess Leia, like when she snuck into Jabba the Hutt's. All the groomsmen were
Leia.
stormtroopers.
Right.
Darth Vader officiated the wedding, and yeah, she was actually on a hoarders show where it was a disturbance in the force, and if you can find that, she
That's
was
great.
because she collected too much Star Wars. So
Oh, you mean like I collect too much Batman? Yeah,
yeah,
I got you.
no, she's much worse than you were. Yeah,
Oh, you'd
she
be
actually,
surprised, Norm.
yeah,
I don't want.
well,
I don't want to play who's the bigger hoarder, so
I
I'll let that go right
I
there.
I don't know anybody else that owns 3 department stores full of stuff. So you want to talk about hoarding? I may
yeah,
have you all beat.
You got me beat. You got me beat. All right, let's roll into the next video real quick. 30
It
seconds.
will be Bruce 4.
Yep. Hey guys, so I just got myself a Funky Buddha draft from the Tipsy Tavern, and now a buddy drinking out of the water fountain here. LV's giving him some water, and we got the Bison Smash Burgers over here. We've got Stanley mug style mugs over there, different types of vendors. We've got live music playing right now, and we've got a barbecue place across the way and a bunch of other vendors. So we're gonna check this out. Bruce is on the loose, so we'll see you soon. All right, so I had no idea that there was going to be a live concert. I thought they just had music in the background playing, but the band was just doing a warm up. So go to the next video, number 5, I guess would be, right?
What beer did you have by the brewery?
Oh, Funky Buddha. I put a picture, I think.
They're in Florida, right?
Hold on.
But they also have a presence out here.
They do.
Their office is
Oh, I don't
here.
think I sent you the
The
picture,
brewery's
Cosmo.
there.
I sent it to the wrong one. I sent it to the old one.
I've had their beer before. And I thought it was interesting. Their brewery was in Florida, so that was.
Yeah. There is. Hold on a second. Oh, here it is. It's called Vibing. I just put it up in the Discord. It's the newest one.
It's a good vibe.
And thank you, Magnetic. Good to see you out there. Just donated an ice cream out in the D Live. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Did you put it in the right Discord, Bruce? Because I think you may have
Show chat.
I don't see it.
Oh, wait, wait. I'm in the. No, I'm not in. Did I? No, I did. I just
You're
put in the
old
right one.
again. That's what I was thinking.
Bruce on the Loose 2500.
And Black Cat just joined us too.
Yeah.
Hey, Black Cat, good to see you. Did it pop yet?
You're in the old one, Bruce, but I can get it from there.
How the hell did I get in the old one?
Luckily, I can get it from there.
Oh, I see. I have both. Look at that. I'm able to access both. Son of a bitch.
We're able to access both. We're just able to moderate the other one.
Yeah.
So
that's
this is
the problem is we don't have any control over the other one. It's like somebody else's.
Well,
yeah, this is called the Vibin Groovable Lager. That's what it was. The Groovable Lager.
All right. Well, I did find it.
All right. So let's go to the next video.
Bruce 5.
Ha 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 ha. There's a guy in an Eddie Van Halen shirt. And of course he's right next to the Eddie Van Halen flag. I wouldn't be surprised if they're both his.
Go to the next video and we'll find out.
Wellington!
One more time.
What's up, Wellington?
Hey guys, Bruce Q. Wayne here for Bruce on the Loose with 3BeerMen, and I saw this amazing shirt on this gentleman behind me, and I know my cousin's a huge Van Halen fan, so I had to come over and chat with them. And come on over and join the conversation. I'm going to turn this around. All right, gentlemen, without giving away your real names, give us your pseudonyms.
My pseudonym, if I had to go by one, would be the Ice Cream Man.
Okay, you pedophile.
Doesn't make me a bad guy, though.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just busting your chops.
And I go by 200-pound Eddie.
There you go, 200-pound Eddie. Because he can lift you up with one hand if you're under 200 pounds.
Yeah. I think you should up that at 300 pounds.
Ah, come on. That's what family does for you.
It's amazing. So tell me, Eddie, where did you get that shirt, please?
I got this in a very far away place overseas. It's a secret. I don't want to advertise it because I don't want to have too many people to have the same shirt. So this is a classic for me.
Very good.
This guy.
And Ice Cream Man, where did you get that wonderful vintage shirt?
This shirt is a classic shirt, purchased not even a week ago at Broadway on the Beach in Myrtle Beach.
There you go.
I walked past the store, vintage, went in, they had them on the wall, done.
Couldn't pass it up.
Couldn't pass it up.
Now
Plus, I couldn't wear my old Van Halen shirt from the 80s because it's a medium.
I have that same problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem with me, so I had to upgrade.
I've got a little larger since then. As we all have.
Well, I call it healthier.
Healthier, yes. We've got healthier.
We are healthier.
Yeah, stick to that carnivore diet. You'll stay healthy.
Exactly right.
That's it.
It's the only thing I own. It's all paid for. The bank don't own it. Nobody else owns it but me.
That's it. I love it. So you told me a quick story about walking into a place in Kennebunkport, Maine, and you found a T-shirt.
I found my holy grail. I'm a big Kiss fan, and I walked into this store, and they had all the old vintage rock and roll shirts in there, but the one they didn't have in the regular rack was the Kiss 2000 Legends Never Die tour, and it was, again, one of Kiss's final performances, if you believe that.
But they're up to number 12 now?
Yeah, exactly. And this shirt was actually hanging up on close to the ceiling. You could only get it down with one of those hooks.
Gotcha.
And I went to the girl behind the counter and I said, "What's up with the shirt? And is it for sale?" She said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Bring it down. I want it." And it was $100.
How did you know it was going to fit?
It was big. It was a big shirt.
Oh, you realized it was a larger size?
Yeah, it was a larger size, and when I got it down, perfect. And
Beautiful.
I've owned it for, I would say, about 4 or 5 years now, and I actually have worn it only 3 times.
But it's one of your favorite shirts.
It is the shirt. And it's
I'm
the shirt
surprised
that
you
gets
haven't
most of the
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's a shirt that gets the most comments whenever I wear it out.
I'm surprised you haven't picture framed it and mounted it on your wall.
Oh, you know what? It probably would get there one of these days.
There you go. And if you get a chance, go to one of the signing shows and get some of the members to sign it.
Wouldn't that be a nice thing?
That would be cool.
Yeah. Everybody would sign it, but Gene Simmons would charge me.
They'd all charge you. Don't kid yourself. They'd all charge you. That's what they do now. That's how they pay their bills.
Yeah. Oh, Kiss doesn't have any money. I'm sorry.
That's it.
I forgot they don't make any money.
Why do you think they still do the Kiss Army Booze Cruise?
Yeah, exactly. That is true. That is true. Never enough.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. We're here at the Wellington. What is it called? The Lakeside Wellington Market.
I'm a Jersey guy, so I.
A New York guy and a New York guy and a Jersey guy together. There you go. East Coast. Thank you, good sir. The Wellington Amphitheater. I dig that flag. I'm digging that flag. To come of Bruce on the Loose, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Bruce, you're muted.
You're muted, Bruce.
You can roll into the next one if you want, because that one talks about the flag. And that one's about 5 minutes long. But
well, we got 7 minutes of show left, and I did think that signing thing was kind of funny because it reminded me of a poster that we have in the museum with Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak's signature on it. And there was a very funny similar story where the poster was presented to Steve Wozniak with Steve Jobs' signature already on it. And he was asked to sign it right underneath Steve Jobs' signature, and he refused. He signed it elsewhere on the page. He would not sign his name next to Steve Jobs' name, but he signed it. But he did sign it elsewhere on the page, and I saw that poster.
I saw that in the museum. I think I even took a picture of it. So yes, I saw that. And Wozniak signed it literally on the bottom opposite corner. Steve Jobs was top left.
Yep.
And Wozniak
he would not sign his
right.
name next to Steve Jobs' name. Yeah.
Steve Jobs wanted to be the John Hancock of the poster.
Steve Jobs didn't want to sign anything. That's amazing.
Well, he wouldn't. Yeah, the poster was a fluke in itself because it was from 1985. Because in 1984, of course, the Macintosh was released, and it was a huge hit, and it was a huge success. So in 1985, Apple had a meeting of executives in Hawaii, and Steve Jobs handed out a few, literally a handful, maybe a dozen, hand-signed posters at that event. And this was still in 1985. This was before he had been thrown out of Apple the first time.
Right.
This was
that's when they were talking about getting the Pepsi guy in there.
Yeah.
The guy from Pepsi to run the almost made him
and
broke.
that particular poster ended up with a collector for over 2 decades before it was brought to a reunion of the original Macintosh developers, which included Wozniak. And when Wozniak first saw the poster, he didn't think the signature was real. But once he heard the story behind it, he understood that it was the real poster from that event in 1985. And he said, yeah, I'll sign it, but I won't sign it next to his name. So.
Very cool.
And of course, that was after Jobs was long dead, you know.
Yeah. Too much. Well, skip everything else and let's go right to the bottom where I actually got a chance to interview the band, Completely Unchained, a Van Halen tribute band, one of the best tribute bands. Pains me to do this, people, but pass the word if you know. No mystery ship tonight. Okay. So,
333 gold pills. Thank you, Zozo Do, for that. But
thank you.
Thank you for the 333 Zozo pills.
All right.
We're sorry to
unfortunately,
hear that the mystery ship is not happening tonight, but we will continue to ramble on as long as we feel like it.
we can go back to the videos then and go through them because some of them are interesting. The one with the flag was fun. I got to chat with the guy that actually made the flag or bought the flag. I don't remember, but then let's go back to that.
Gives me an excuse to keep drinking, so I'm all for it. That's
Here we go.
Which
Cue
are
it
you
up,
looking for,
sir.
Bruce?
The one after 200-pound Eddie. The one with the flag behind my head.
Do you want a video or a picture?
It's a video. 4 minutes and 49 seconds.
We did 5 last, right? So
yeah, go for 6. See if that's it.
Okay, that's interesting. Why didn't that play? I guess that must have been the one that just played.
Yeah, that was 6. This is 7.
Well, that's interesting. This is not playing for some reason. Huh. All right. Well, let me try this one.
Hey guys, Bruce is on the loose once again, and we are here at the Wellington Amphitheater, and they've got a concert going on. Completely Unchained Van Halen cover band, which is going to be playing shortly. They were tuning up earlier. I don't know if you caught some of that in some of the earlier videos I did, but I've got this amazing flag that I saw when we were first coming in, and I had to catch up with the gentleman that's sitting in the chair that it's attached to and his good friend. So we're going to turn the cameras around and we're going to just say hello. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing? Hello.
All right, I got to ask, where'd the flag come from?
What should I say? I stole it. Somebody has a cooler. It was in somebody's cooler and I stole it.
There you go. That works. And so, have you guys heard this band?
Many times.
Many times. The cover band.
Cover band.
What's the name?
Completely Unchained.
So Completely Unchained is the name of the band.
Number
okay.
one
I thought that was the name of the show.
Voted #1 cover band in the USA.
On whose platform and whose scale?
You know, that's a good point. I think it might have been their own play.
There you go.
After the Wellington Amphitheater show last time, they did a poll.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we have a Van Halen cover band, but they do Van Halen and Bon Jovi together, and they call themselves Van Jovi.
And where are they out of?
Out of Long Island, New York.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
They might play with. They have something similar with a Bon Jovi band here.
It's very possible.
They're actually. They call it Bon Halen or something.
Bon Halen. Oh, okay. So, that may be them too. So people are already stacking out the chairs, setting themselves up. Show probably doesn't go on till later this evening, I'm guessing. 6:30. Okay.
6 now.
And how long does the fair or the festival, the marketplace, stay open for?
Till 9 o'clock. The whole time.
Okay, and then the music cuts off at 9.
Music.
There you go. This is the first time we're here. If you can't tell, I'm from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York too.
What parts?
The other side, Niagara Falls.
Oh, I went to school up in Brockport.
Oh, okay.
So we used to travel to Buffalo all the time.
Okay.
Cross over the Canadian border to buy Brador beers.
Molson Brador was my favorite beer ever. 6.2% alcohol by volume. Not many people knew it. I used to fly back and carry cases of Molson Brador on the plane.
We would drive our car. We had a pickup truck. We would drive the pickup truck across the border.
Jenny Light wasn't good enough?
No, I drank Labatt's. We drank Jenny Cream Ale. Oh, a fellow Rochesterian. There you go. I worked for Arts for Greater Rochester for 2 years while I was up there. I loved it.
Gotta love it.
I stayed up there. I enjoyed it so much.
But now...
You're drinking fresh?
Fresh. It is amazing.
What is in fresh?
Amazing.
Don't tell me it's got THC in it.
No, it does not. It's just great hops. It's Civil Society's #1 IPA. Let me see what hops they use. Is it saying? Johnny's gonna go viral. Yeah.
Well, it's beer. We talk about beer, pop culture, and technology. So
we love Civil Society Fresh.
If I may?
You may.
Oh, I apologize, good sir.
No problem.
Did I do damage to something?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, thank God.
Pretty thick. See the charred oak in there? Oh, love it.
Oh, I thought it was charred marijuana, but that works too. This is a very cool thing. So it's an IPA. You see, I'm not an IPA guy.
Juicy Hazy IPA. It's phenomenal.
One of my partners, Norm, or as we call him, Hang 10 Alien Surfer, is a big IPA guy, and he's big on his hazies. He loves his hazies.
He loved the fresh.
There you go. So, Norm, this one's for you.
This one's for you, Norm.
This one's for you, Norm.
And we got a Dopalicious from Three Sons Brewing that's for you, too. That's what you need to try.
Dopalicious
from Three Sons Brewing, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Most amazing.
He's a West Coast guy.
And the Cahaba.
That we haven't sampled yet. The Cahaba from Birmingham, Alabama.
There you go.
We got a good collection of IPAs.
And a bunch of self-distilled products.
And move that over here. Oh, we got a cooler. We're going to the cooler. Hold on a second. We're coming to you.
Let's see if we have any good IP. This is the Cahaba from Alabama.
So there's another video that goes more into those if you want to roll the next one. But before we do, you can cue it up for us. I just want to say, Matt, good to see you too. Thank you for the kind words, sir. Yeah, I'm down in Florida. I do whatever I can when I'm down here, and I videotape my activities as we go out and about town. And this was just really something fun. I was visiting with some family, and they recommended this Wellington Amphitheater to me. Every Thursday down here, why did Batman have to drive to Canada for beer? It wasn't prohibited. No, Matt, here's what happened. I went to school at Rochester, okay? And Brador beer, as he said, was 6.2 or 6.3 ABV, alcohol
by volume.
By volume, thank you.
Or per volume, depending on.
Thank you. ABV, alcohol by volume, was 6.2 or 6.3%. Your average beers back in Rochester, New York, where I went to college, was on average, 3.2, 4.1. You couldn't go above. What was it back then, Cosmac? You couldn't go above in the United States. You couldn't go above 5.
5.5 was considered to be a very strong beer back in the day.
Almost like a malt liquor.
Exactly.
If you went above
5.5
that,
was
you
malt
would have
liquor.
to be
Yeah.
So we would take a buddy of mine lived in Buffalo, New York, and we would go and spend the weekend up at his place, party all weekend, go up to Canada, cross over the border by Niagara Falls, which is where he lived, go into Canada, buy Molson Bradors, and literally bring them back by the caseloads. And we would just cross the border. We barely even had to show our driver's licenses back then. We're talking mid-'80s here, okay? They didn't give us a hard time. But now, try and cross the border. If you're going from Canada into the United States, they don't even look twice. But if you're going from the United States into Canada, they bust your balls and give you a hard time. And if they think you're a MAGA, or if they think you're a conservative, they give you an even harder time. And they'll keep you there for up to as much as 2 hours, busting your balls to let you cross into Canada. So that's what's going on now. However, back then, it was a cross, they just said, what are you doing here? Oh, we're going sightseeing, we're going touring, and we're going to go pick up some beer. Okay. We'd cross the border, we'd go sightseeing, we'd get to the Canadian side of the Niagara Falls, go to any one of the actual beverage centers they had there, pick up some beer, throw it back of the truck, and drive back across the border and go back to Brockport, where I went to college. And we would have parties, Brador parties, and it was great. But now you could buy a stout, a dark chocolate stout, left-hand stout or dragon's milk are minimum 11.2 or 11.4. It's insane that now we can buy alcohol that's almost as ABV as wine. Right, Cosmic?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 13, 14% beer is not unusual now, and that's wine territory.
A lot of the average beers for me here now are between 6 and 7.5%. That's average. That's not even.
You walk into any beverage center here on Long Island, and the same thing applies. You'll have your regular. I mean, look again. Guinness is 4.2 or 4.6. So it's not crazy.
7, but it doesn't. Yeah.
Right. Okay. 4.7. But that's your average. Sorry, guys. I was trying to get back into my my pill, Magnetic. Been out running the back roads with the wife. Cheers, y'all. Cheers to you too, good sir.
Yes, welcome aboard Magatech. Glad to have fire safety back in the chats again. Thank you for coming.
So did you see what Matt wrote you? Yes, you did. Okay.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Matt is
Okay.
interested
Okay.
in
I
the
didn't
way
see
that
you
we do
underneath that.
the
All right. Cool.
the this little trick right here, where we show things like messages from Pilled with stickers right there live in our show. And Matt was asking how we did that, and I mentioned that I wrote that. So, and I'm happy
honestly,
to talk
Matt,
to anybody who wants to to use the technology. I'm happy to open source it. It's not anything I'm I'm glued to or ever expect to get rich off of. In fact, I'm not really worried about getting rich. So I'm happy to give away anything I invent. So, yep.
What he means is he's happy he's already rich, so it's not going to matter. When he sold his brewery, he made out like a bandit. The man's retired, thank God. All right, so the whole point of this was that we went to the cooler and I videotaped the next segment, which I think Cosmic has queued up, and we're going to dive into the cooler even more. So
let's see if that's
all right. So here we are
New
at the
York,
cooler.
Marlowe, another Ghost Imperial IPA, New England IPA,
6.7 ABV.
So good. I have some good ones in here. What was it? This is one of New York's most famous beers, Torque Wrench. Oh, this is Impact Wrench.
Impact Wrench.
Impact Wrench from
Triple Hazy, Indiana. India Pale Ale. Indiana, listen to me.
Yes.
IPA, people.
So good. My cooler's filled
stocked with it. You see, I'm a stout man, tried and true.
Elysian Juice Dust, amazing.
There you go.
Amazing IPA, juicy hay.
I'm just going to pause that for a second because somebody was asking about Elysian in the chat earlier. I'd have to scroll back and find out who it was. But
I thought they were InBev. I kind of banned Elysian a long time ago. I could have sworn they were owned by InBev.
They went InBev, yeah,
a while ago. But they advertise them like they're not, since InBev is hurting from their Bud Light sales. They want to sell all the. I'm not positive about that. But
any beer they can.
Very cool.
Love it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your pseudonym.
John.
John. Hey, John. Let's see this last one.
Highlight.
Cigar
City Highlight. Tampa.
Cigar City. I love Cigar City.
Oh, it's amazing.
Cigar City has a decent porter, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I only drink stouts and porters. That's the only thing I drink. There you go, guys. And so John just showed off his collection in his ice chest here, and they're going to be enjoying themselves for this concert. So I'm going to go catch up with Elvia, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side for Bruce on the Loose. I'm Bruce Key Wayne. Peace out.
Peace.
So that was a fun day. I got to tell you, we stayed all the way through till the end of the concert, which was well after 9:30. We missed dinner with my sister, but we had it the next morning for breakfast. But go to the last video first before we roll back to the two in the middle. Go to the very last video because I actually got to interview the band leader and his roadies and his brother who does his promotions and PR work. So if you can go to that last video, I didn't get to post a lot of more because I wasn't sure how much we could handle for the show, knowing that we have to close out at a set time. So the very last video shows me with like 4 other guys behind me.
All right, here it goes.
Hey guys, Bruce on the Loose here for 3BeerMen, and I've got with me
Gene
Completely
from
Unchained. There we go, Gene from Completely Unchained. Now Gene, I'm taking it you're the lead singer?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I'm going to turn the camera around and face you, and I'm going to ask you questions, and you guys are going to hit me up with answers.
All right. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Please, Gene, tell us, what is the full name of your band and how you guys started?
Completely Unchained. We started, I believe it was around 2013.
No, you're good, you're good, you're good.
Sure? What are you getting, this angle?
I got everybody. Keep going. I got you all four.
Sure you got the whole
all four.
team.
I got the whole team.
This is the help, just so you know.
Important
people in the band. Yeah, they are. These guys are the best. Yeah, we started about 2013. So we've been doing Van Halen music for the last, I don't know, 15 years.
I hear you guys are like the premier Van Halen cover band for the South Florida area.
Well, I like to think so, and if the fans think the same way, that's a good thing, right?
Absolutely. Do you guys have any social media presence?
Yes, you can get us on Facebook, Completely Unchained, Instagram, Completely Unchained, our website, CompletelyUnchainedRocks.com.
There you go. Very good. Appreciate you, gentlemen. And can you give us a little look at the playlist tonight?
No.
How about before I leave?
We're opening up what You Really Got Me, and we're ending with Unchained.
There you go.
Is that good?
That works.
If anybody wants to see what's going on, I got to come down to the Wellington Amphitheater tonight.
Absolutely.
6:45 start.
There you go. And what day is today?
Thursday.
Thursday, the
April 24th.
The 24th of April.
Yeah, something like
You
that.
see, when you play as much as we do, the days get lost.
There you go. So you guys tour around quite a bit down here in South Florida,
Yeah,
or
we go
all over?
Yeah, we've been to Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, been to California, we're going to Oregon, we go upstate New York, we do a lot of the East Coast.
Very good.
Branching out toward the
You
Midwest.
do New York?
Sturgis, yeah, we go to South Dakota, play with Queens.
For Bike Week?
Yeah.
Nice. Very good. All right, gentlemen, can I get your names, please?
Gene.
Wait, I got yours, Gene. I got you.
Take care of the team.
I'm Don.
Don, and what's your instrument?
What's my instrument?
I'm guessing the drummer.
No, I'm the guy who drives the van, loads in, loads out, make sure everybody's taken care of.
The hired help. You weren't kidding when you said hired help.
Oh, they're the best though, man.
And you, good sir?
I'm Anthony.
Anthony.
I'm George, Gene's brother, and I'm better looking.
Yeah. But guys, you know what? No joke. I roadied for a little bit too back in Long Island and upstate New York. So I know, Long Island.
Port Jeff.
Huntington, Dix Hills, Deer Park.
Comac.
There you go, Comac, a Comac fan. Excellent. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a great show tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Better looking.
Take care, my man.
God bless, guys. Have a good show tonight. Bruce on the Loose. It's Bruce QA, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.
That's funny.
So-
I had a branch office in Massapequa.
There you go. That's right. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you put something in the chat that caught me off guard. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? You've got stuff with me online?
The Steel City Con shorts are taking off over on YouTube. They're pulling in 3 times the usual views on every one. So
Wow.
Bruce on the Loose, the man on the street, is really working.
Yeah, you know what? When I go out and I, see something that I appreciate, I want to share that with my audience. And you guys, help me do that. So I appreciate you all allowing me to, take the time to do this. And I have fun with it. And Matt 1776 suggested I do a man on the street kind of situation. And that's kind of what Bruce on the Loose is. Just make a post and upload. All right. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah.
It doesn't have to be live, Bruce, is what he's saying.
Oh no, I understand that, but we'll talk after the show because I'm gonna need help just figuring it out again. Because I'm tech tarded.
That's what I do. So
exactly. That's what Cosmac is good at, and that's what we allow him to do. His area of expertise is the control panels. He's got everything down to a science. He's crossed every T, he's dotted every I, and there isn't anything he can't do with a computer. If he needs to program something to make it happen, he will do it. So God bless you for that, Cosmac. I couldn't do that to save my life.
When there was no other way to get pilled foxhole comments to show up in the stream, I wrote one, and there it is. And Matt's asking about it, and hopefully we can help do something. We can make Foxhole, Pilled Foxhole, do something even better than the rest of them do.
Did you send the one of me where I promo pill.net to Matt 1776 yet?
The little short that we started last week's intermission with, actually, yeah.
Good.
I didn't send it directly to him, but I'm sure he's seen it.
Okay.
The chill pill.
Yes, the
yeah.
chill pill, right? Where I said this may be a chill pill, but you can always catch us on pill.net. So by all means, Matt, you have my permission to use that anytime, anywhere, and I'll ask Cosmac because he's got the footage of that. I don't. To put that up as a short here on
It sounds to
pill.net.
me like what Matt is saying is that we need to be putting the shorts that are making big views over on YouTube. We need to be putting those up as Foxhole shorts too.
Yeah.
So,
Cosmac, I ask you to please let her rip.
Let me talk to Pops, and we'll get that going. Remember, Pops is the CEO of the Madness Comic Network. I am just the CFO and technical advisor. Pops is the creative genius and organizer behind the scenes. But absolutely, I will talk to him tomorrow, first thing, about
That's great.
Getting some of those shorts over to Foxhole too.
And please send because you have the footage. I don't of that little stinger I did for pill.net. Send that to Matt 1776. And if he's still listening, you have my blessings. Use it as much and as often as you wish. God bless. But yeah, I did so much more. He hasn't seen it yet. He said DM him later. DM him later. He hasn't seen it yet.
Yep.
So for sure, Matt, Cosmac will have to do that because he's got the raw footage. I don't. But that was from Steel City Con, and we had a blast. And I had no idea the shorts were really taking off like that. Thank you, Cosmac. That's cool.
They are.
And thank you, Madness Comic Network, because without you, I wouldn't know that they were there.
Yeah, we're doing this. That's right.
Yeah, very cool. So we'll do more, but I am getting a little tired. I've been driving all day to make it back here to Gainesville so that I could be here for the show tonight. I don't know if you have anything else to cover. If you want to throw anything else out there, do another segment.
There were only 2 other videos that you sent, and nope. Besides that, we are already over our usual scheduled time, and so whenever you want to wrap it up, Bruce, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, those 2 videos were from a restaurant, and I don't know I don't remember what they were, to be honest with you.
I was going to go over and say hi to my friend stuck in New York who's streaming. Maybe even jump on the panel. So,
is that streaming live on Pilled right now?
Yeah. Stuck in New York.
That is
NY.
where we will be sending a raid.
and then showing them that I'm drinking a New York beer. So
that works.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're wrapping it up, so I'm going to go ahead and charge up the chest while you guys chat down an outro here.
And thank you for all you over on DLive that still donate to that chest, like TL Spud and Jayla 17 and Bad Zoot.
We're still giving it all back. We give back more every week than we get now, and we'll be giving it back for quite some time. So we appreciate everybody who over on DLive, all our regular fans over there, and very much so. In fact, I'm going to release the chest now. So
I was just going to say maybe we should do that anyway. But those last 2 videos were from a restaurant that I was at, and I had a really nice meal, and I had a great beer. Did I put the video up of the beers? So that would have been interesting to tap into, but we're already closing out on them. So
chesticles now, guys.
There you go.
And we did actually not bad on gold pills tonight too. So
thanks to Zoso dude who hooked us up out there. He really he really dropped a bunch on us. So there's actually 3 more videos, Cosmac. There were 3 more videos there. 2 of them seem to lump together.
I only had 9 and 10 left that we haven't played yet. I'm not sure what the other one is. Congratulations to our lucky lemon winners, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Who's feedback in there?
Who
that was me. Sorry about that.
That was
Bruce. Who were the ones that donated? Actually, they got more back than they donated, so that's good.
Well, that's what I said. We're giving back a little more every week than we get, and we'll be doing that for some foreseeable time. We're down to about a third of the lemons that we had at our peak, but we still have quite a few left to give away. So please keep tuning in over there, even if it's just to win a few lemons. Tonight's big winners were TL Spud, Bad Zoot, Jayla17, Syllabore, and John Rogers. And there were clearly some others that didn't show up in the top 5. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you very, very much for coming. We appreciate it. Bruce, where was I sending that raid again? Oh, Stuck in New York. Right.
Stuck in New York, yes.
Yeah, let's go over and say hi to him.
All right, so why don't we close out and say goodnight?
Raid to Stuck in New York.
And
good, Bruce.
Norm, go ahead, Norm. Let you start it off.
Cheers. Enjoy your beer. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully we have intellectually stimulated you as well as informed you about things you didn't really need to know, but hopefully you were entertained nonetheless. So, cheers.
Very good. Cosmac?
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming, as always. The scratchings are released. Willie Fixit has gotten our first scratchings over there on Pilled. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Be sure and check out next week's Foxhole Squares on Coffee Talk with Sandra. And not just because I'm a square there every week. It's always a fun show. We appreciate it. And check out Flip City's Creative Chaos on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern as well.
And don't forget, you can always catch Madness on pill.net as well as YouTube. Whenever they go live, there's always some fun to be had. So check them out, and we'd love to see you there. And for 3BeerMen, I'm Bruce Q. Wayne, and thank you so much for hanging in there and putting up with my craziness. Love to everybody. Peace out from Batman. Cosmac, roll the outro, and let's raid the channel. Stuck in New York.
Folks, time to call a night. Do what you feel and keep both feet on the wheel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So till next time.
Move 'em on.
Hit 'em up.
Hit 'em up.
Move 'em on.
Move 'em on.
Hit 'em up.
Rawhide. Cut 'em out.
Ride 'em in.
Ride 'em in.
Cut 'em out.
Cut 'em out. Ride 'em in. Rawhide.
Let's get the hell out of here.